Chat with us in Facebook Messenger. Find out WHAT and APOS happening in the world as it unfolds. Republican Greg Gianfort is facing off against Democrat Rob Quist. The race is over, a House seat empty after Ryan Zinke became a member of TRUMP and APOS cabinet. Montanans are heading to the polls Thursday, voting in a special election to fill the open spot for the STATE and APOS single at-large House seat in the U.S. House of Representatives. THERE and APOS been plenty of action in the Big Sky State before. WED and SDAY and APOS bombshell revelation that one of the candidates allegedly body slammed a reporter. But if YOU and APOS re-wondering about the basics of the race, CNN is here for you. Here are the best answers we have for a special election that has raised a lot of questions. Why is there an election? Ryan Zinke left his congressional seat earlier this year to be President Donald Trump and APOS Secretary of the Interior. HE and APOS the one who rode a horse to work. Polls opened in most locations in Montana by 7 a.m. local time, 9 a.m. Eastern Time. They close Thursday night at 8 p.m. local time, 10 p.m. Eastern Time. Montanans can register to vote on the same day as voting, and absentee voters WHO and APOS yet to turn in their ballots can still do so today. Related, Montana and APOS absentee vote turnout in the spotlight after Gianfort and APOS body SLAM and APOS. The two major party candidates are Republican Greg Gianfort, a multi-millionaire tech entrepreneur who sold his company Rightnow Technologies to Oracle in 2012. He unsuccessfully ran for governor last year. A 24-year Montana resident, HE and APOS based in Bozeman. Democrat Rob Quist, a 69-year-old singer-songwriter and self-described small businessman from the town of Cut Bank, where he grew up on the High Line, a rural corner of the state. For more on the candidates, check out this deep dive from CNN and APOS Lauren Fox, who spent a lot of time with both candidates in April. Did one of the candidates and APOS body SLAM and APOS, a reporter? Allegedly. THAT and APOS, how the reporter in question, the GUARDIAN and APOS Ben Jacobs, described the physical altercation he had with Gianfort after he crashed a Fox News interview to ask the Republican about his thoughts on the congressional budget. OFFICE and APOS score of the GOP healthcare plan. You can read more about that CBO score here. Jacobs has audio of the encounter. Gianfort was charged with misdemeanor assault and received a citation to appear in Gallatin County Justice Court between now and June 7, according to County Sheriff Brian Gutkin. After the event, GIANFORTE and APOS spokesman released a statement blaming the encounter on JACOBS and APOS and aggressive behavior. HERE and APOS, House spokesman Shane Scanlon described it. Tonight, as Greg was giving a separate interview in a private office, the GUARDIAN and APOS Ben Jacobs entered the office without permission, aggressively shoved a recorder in GREG and APOS face, and began asking badgering questions. The campaign said. Jacobs was asked to leave. After asking Jacobs to lower the recorder, Jacobs declined. Greg then attempted to grab the phone that was pushed in his face. Jacobs grabbed GREG and APOS wrist and spun away from Greg, pushing them both to the ground. IT and APOS unfortunate that this aggressive behavior from a liberal journalist created the scene at our campaign volunteer BBQ. A Fox News crew, whose interview Jacobs crashed, described the altercation in a way that appeared to support JACOBS and APOS depiction of events, and with more detail. At that point, Gianfort grabbed Jacobs by the neck with both hands and slammed him into the ground behind him. One of the producers wrote of their encounter. Faith, Keith and I watched in disbelief as Gianfort then began punching the reporter. As Gianfort moved on top of Jacobs, he began yelling something to the effect of, "And APOS I and APOS am sick and tired of this and APOS and." Not exactly. The state has been dependably Republican in presidential elections, but the state has a Democratic governor, Steve Bullock, who was re-elected the same night that Trump won. One of the STATE and APOS two senators is also a two-term Democrat, John Tester. WHO and APOS up for re-election next year. That said, a Republican has held onto the STATE and APOS congressional seat since 1997. Are there other special elections? The next two House special elections are both on June 20th, when both Georgia and South Carolina voters will head to the polls to replace seats left open after Representatives Tom Price of Georgia and Mick Mulvaney of South Carolina took jobs in TRUMP and APOS's cabinet.